Mario didn't just make great games, he broke the rules of gaming three separate times. Super Mario 64 threw us into 3D before anyone else dared. Galaxy tossed out gravity and blew our minds, and Odyssey basically let us do whatever we want, and somehow made it work. But here's what most people miss. Mario wasn't just getting better, he was rewriting what video games could even be. Today I'm breaking down exactly how he pulled it off. So let's get started. Before 1996, 3D gaming was like the Wild West. Developers knew it was the future, but most attempts were clunky, confusing, and rough. Then, Super Mario 64 showed up and gave us a perfect entry that was nothing like anything we've seen before. Honestly, Mario 64 nailed 3D movement and camera controls. It was incredible back then. The proof was right there in your hands with that wild but weird N64 controller. For the first time, that little analog stick gave us true 360-degree freedom. Tilted gently and Mario tiptoes. Jam it forward and he breaks into a full sprint. That feeling of control was magical. Mario's moveset felt incredible. The triple jump, the wall kick, the long jump. These weren't just ways to get around, they were tools for pure fun. And the levels weren't just straight lines to a flagpole anymore. They were sprawling open playgrounds, sandboxes, filled with 120 power stars you can grab in almost any order. Bob-omb Battlefield was simply fantastic. It was a tiny living world like many other levels in this game. And even the idea of a central hub connecting you to different courses became the gold standard for years. And let's not forget that this is the game that gave Mario his voice. Charles Martinet's iconic "It's a me, Mario" was the perfect welcome. The impact is impossible to ignore. For years, almost every 3D game was aspiring to be like Mario 64. So after that, how could Nintendo possibly top themselves? So, you've just written the blueprint for 3D gaming. What's next? If you're Nintendo, the answer is pretty simple, is to get creative. Super Mario Sunshine on the GameCube was a bold and for many deeply divisive entry that took Mario in a direction nobody saw coming. It was as if Nintendo was willing to risk its own perfect formula just to see what would happen. The evidence for that is one wonderfully bizarre acronym, FLOOD. By strapping a water-powered jetpack to Mario, Nintendo totally flipped the script. Suddenly, it wasn't all about the jump, it was about cleaning sludge, solving puzzles with water, and hovering over deadly gaps with pinpoint accuracy. It wasn't some throwaway power-up. FLOOD was your partner for the entire adventure. The world was a complete departure too. Instead of a castle, you got Isle Delfino, a bright, interconnected tropical resort that felt like one big vacation gone wrong. It also introduced Bowser Jr., who's now a serious staple. Now, some players felt like FLOOD got in the way of poor platforming, and the game could be brutally difficult. But you can't deny the sheer ambition. Sunshine proved that a 3D Mario game could be more than just running and jumping. It could be a massive, quirky, and unforgettable ride. Super Mario Galaxy was without a doubt one of the best platformers the world has ever seen. This game for the Wii didn't just change the rules, it completely shattered our understanding of what a level could even be. It redefined platforming with its mind-bending gravity and perfect bite-sized explosions of creativity. The genius is right there on every stage. Instead of huge open fields, levels were now collections of smaller spherical worlds, each with its own gravitational pull. Mario could run completely upside down, get shot like a cannonball from one planet to the next, and leap between platforms that twisted in impossible ways. The Wii's motion controls were integrated in beautifully, for Mario's spin attack and for snatching up starbits, adding a super satisfying tactile layer to the gameplay. This game was a volcanic eruption of new ideas, and the music, made by a breathtaking, fully orchestrated soundtrack, something new for the series. The entire adventure felt absolutely epic. Each galaxy was a marvel, introducing a new concept, letting you master it, and then moving on before it even got stale. Super Mario Galaxy wasn't just another great game, it's a genuine work of art. To this day, people call it one of the greatest games ever made, and it's hard to argue with that. How do you possibly follow up a game that many people were already calling perfect? If you're Nintendo, the answer is simple. You do it again, but bigger, better, and packed with even more ideas. Super Mario Galaxy 2 wasn't trying to reinvent the wheel. It was about sharpening the Galaxy formula into a non-stop thrill ride of pure challenge and creativity. This game was built from all the ideas that were supposedly too wild to fit into the first one, which shows how much creativity was over at Nintendo. The game moves at faster clip, the levels are more demanding, and the power-ups are even more unhinged. And of course, they brought back Yoshi, adding his flutter jump and tank swinging chaos to the cosmic platforming was pure joy. While the first Galaxy built up this grand epic atmosphere, its sequel is just a relentless highlight reel of brilliant level design. It's the kind of game where every stage has an idea so good other developers would build an entire game around it. If you're enjoying this video, I would be super grateful if you would hit the subscribe button and like the video. It really helps the channel grow, and you won't miss anything new that's coming. So, after the amazing Galaxy games, Nintendo reinvented 3D Mario games once more. They brought back Mario to Earth, ensuring the entire experience to fit in our pockets. Released on the Nintendo 3DS, Super Mario 3D Land brilliantly fused the DNA of classic 2D and modern 3D Mario in what might just be the perfect portable game. The genius was in how it blended the two styles. The levels were linear, just like the old side-scrollers, had a clear start and a flagpole waiting at the end, but you still had Mario's full 3D moveset. This created perfect bite-sized obstacle courses that you could beat in just a few minutes, ideal for gaming on the go. This focused design let the developers cram an insane amount of creativity into every single stage, and making its great return was the iconic Tanuki suit. Its ability to slow your fall gave players a welcome safety net, making it perfectly for newcomers. 3D Land proved that the magic of 3D Mario didn't need a giant TV or a massive world, it could be distilled into a flawless pocket-sized adventure. After seeing how much fans love the hybrid style, Nintendo made the version for the big screen on the Wii U. Super Mario 3D World took the tight, focused design of 3D Land and made it better and added up to 4-player multiplayer support. The new idea here was playing with friends. For the first time in a mainline 3D Mario game, 4 players could run, jump, and play through levels all at once. This was a some takedown mode. The whole game was designed around it. Each character even had their own ability, just like in the classic Super Mario Bros. 2. But the real star of the show was the catsuit. This power-up was an absolute game-changer, yet it let you scramble up walls, pounce on enemies, and literally climb the flagpole to open up every single level in a new vertical way. The whole game was just a vibrant, polished, and endlessly charming blast, whether you're trying to play alone or with friends or family. With the launch of the Nintendo Switch, Mario went back to the open-ended sandbox design, but amplified it to a scale we had never imagined. Super Mario Odyssey was all about one thing, unfiltered freedom, where the simple act of exploring was its own reward. The key that unlocked all this freedom was Cappy, Mario's sidekick hat, that let him capture a massive variety of enemies and objects. This mechanic was brilliant. Easy to cross a giant gap, just capture a bullet bill and fly across. Can't reach a high ledge, capture a frog, and use its incredible super jump. This constant shape-shifting kept the gameplay feeling fresh for dozens of hours. The worlds in Odyssey were huge, dense kingdoms packed with hundreds of power moons, and the real joy came from just running around and discovering them. It felt like a true celebration of everything that makes 3D Mario great. Always looking forward. Then, a few years later, we got something different. Bundled with the Switch port of Super Mario 3D World, it was a brand new adventure called Bowser's Fury. Honestly, it feels like we got a sneak peek at where Mario is heading next. The entire game takes place on one single seamless map, Lake Lapcat, connecting dozens of platforming challenges with absolutely zero loading screen, just sail from one island to the next. But a truly revolutionary idea was Fury Bowser. Every few minutes, the sky would darken, a storm would roll in, and a giant-sized evil Bowser would rise from the sludge and start wrecking everything. He would literally transform the level you were on, creating intense heart-pounding showdowns. Well, cut short, it felt like a proof of concept for the first truly open-world Mario game. For many of us, this felt like Nintendo was showing us what's about to come. So, when you step back and look at the whole journey, it's pretty mind-blowing. From the foundational genius of Super Mario 64 to bizarre flood sidekick in Sunshine, from the cosmic art of Galaxy to a hybrid design of 3D land and 3D world, and from the infinite freedom of Odyssey to the open world keys of Bowser's Fury. The pattern is undeniable. Nintendo is never doing the same thing twice. Each new 3D Mario feels like a direct response to the last one, a bold new argument for what fun can even mean. And that brings us to today. Anyways, this is my opinion, but I really want to know what you think. What do you think is next for 3D Mario, and which game in this legendary series is your all-time favorite? Let me know in the comment section. If you enjoyed this clip, a like and a subscribe would be amazing. I was David. Bye. Have a nice day.